Yesterday I did my milk run of deliveries from the farm. Normally I go up to Perth, come back and I'm home by about 7 o'clock. Last night it was 9 o'clock. Why? Traffic. There were traffic jams in Perth. An indicator that people are now wanting to go shopping in West Australia. Now we've opened our borders probably earlier than some other countries, but the same situation is going to happen around the world. The consumer has cabin fever and as a result of that wants to go out shopping. In the last week in Australia we've seen supermarket sales increase by 8%. We've seen health product sales increase by 8%. And we've seen alcohol sales increase by 15%. The one industry that's still having major problems is the restaurant industry. And over the last few years they've relied in Australia and many other countries on two major home delivery companies to do home delivery of meals. And that cost us between 14 to 35% of the price of the meal. So now restaurants who have been doing it tough are looking at new ways of getting the product to the home consumer. They're now setting up their own home delivery services, not going through the two major suppliers. So if you're in the farm produce industry, it may be working with some of the local restaurants. Some of these restaurants are getting new entrepreneurs to do home deliveries at a more cost-effective rate to create a win-win-win for everybody. So what's the message to retailers that are thinking about opening their stores at present? I think there's three key issues. Number one is look at your layout. The customer should go on a one-way system through the store. So you need to think about the layout and you may need to change the layout as a result of that. Number two, I've often worked on the principle that 60% of the floor space is for the customer, 40% is for the product. With social distancing, you need to change that ratio. So now you've got to think about at least 70% of the space for the consumer and 30% for the product. Because we're looking at 4 square meters per person available space in a store. And number three you've got to look at is your product range. Have you got the right product range for this time? For example, I'm working with a gift store at present who relied on cruise ships. Now obviously the type of gifts people from cruise ships were buying are now not the type of gifts that should be available in the gift shop when it's local people coming in the store. So you may need to think about the gift range. So look at your flow, look at your space and look at your product range.